Hello and welcome to this week's Lounge Chat. Our guest member today is one of our Consortium Lounge member, Rin. We are excited to find out more about you and your business today. So Rin, please let us know a bit about your background.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me. My name is Rin and I moved to Wollongong about maybe 5 years ago now. Wow, I can't believe it's been that long. But previous to that, myself and my husband, we were living in San Francisco for about 3 years, and then we're originally actually from Sydney. And a little bit of a background of what I've done is I studied marketing and science at uni, and I've had a marketing career that sort of spans across Sydney and the United States until when I moved back to Australia, where I decided to start my own business.
Very cool. And what is your business, Rin?
So when I was working in corporate marketing, I found myself a little bit, I guess, a little bit bored in terms of creativity. I just wasn't getting the creative outlets. So I started a blog all about things I like doing, which are like making things and slow living and things like that. And it was just a hobby. But over the years, it started to gain a real traction. So when I had my first daughter in San Francisco and we decided to repatriate, instead of going back to working for somebody else, I decided to try and now turn this blog that had gained, I think it had about maybe 10,000 or so subscribers at the time. It's got a lot more than that now, but I decided to see if I can turn that blog into a business.
And you were successful.
Yes, I guess so. I'm still on the journey, but yeah, it's been really fun.
And with that, Rin, like, who do you help? Like, what's the client base? Is it based in Australia? Where's the people?
Sure. So my blog and online community is called Sew in Love, as in SEW, in love, and it's a place where I help busy women slow down and rediscover their creativity through the joy of handmade. So most of my clients and audience is a professional woman, like very highly educated, very successful in their careers. So I guess it's like a little bit like me, like, you know, I had this corporate career, but I was really missing this creative outlet. And as my life got more busy with family and social life and all of that, you sort of forget to give yourself that permission to have that sense of fun and creativity. And it's a really, really great thing for you to do in terms of self-care, as well as just rediscovering the joy of creating that we do a lot as kids, but as adults we tend to forget to set ourselves the time to do it. So that's what my business does. I help busy women just find that creative outlet again.
And you've hit the nail on the head then, because you know, as you grow older, you don't tend to focus on those making and all that. So how are you different to other blogs?
So there's definitely a huge amount of sewing and handmade stuff out there, but instead of focusing on projects and completing projects, I focus more on the process. So I'm more about that flow process of mindful making. And I talk more about, sure, it's great to make something and have something that you can show to other people that you feel proud of, but it's more about feeling, I guess, re-energized and feeling great about giving yourself that time to, look after yourself. And, you know, instead of ticking through all the to-do lists, just pausing and being like, okay, what's something I can do just for myself? And it's kind of called selfish sewing. So, you know, instead of doing things for other people or even making things for other people, it's just giving yourself that permission to enjoy having time for yourself.
Yeah, because that self-care and mindfulness is so important for our overall well-being, is what I was trying to say, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I get a lot of women who, so when I first started out, this wasn't really my angle. It was more about, you know, like make this, and it was kind of what everybody else is doing. But as I sort of change to this more slow living and mindful making angle, I get a lot more responses from my audience, just thanking me for, making them realize that it's about the process, and also just people connecting with each other, and because everyone sort of has, the people I attract tend to have that same goal in mind, which is of course to make something, but also to feel proud of themselves for making that time.
Yeah.
Which is great. And Rin, speaking of working together and collaborating and things, so for the Consortium Lunch, which is formerly known as Zigzag Hub when you first joined, what kind of appealed to you? Like what made you go, I really want to get into something like this?
So as someone, I've been at Zigzag Hub, now called Consortium Lounge, for a long time now. I'm one of the old timers, and I guess I really wanted to join because I'm not originally from Wollongong, and because I've never worked here or anything, I really didn't have anyone to connect with in terms of sort of careers and work-related things. So I was able to meet friends through mothers groups and things, but there comes a time where, as a new mum, you want to talk about things that are other than your own child or baby. Which is fun too, but there's you definitely need a different outlet. And I'm definitely someone like that. So joining Consortium Lounge has really helped me to make friends that aren't just my friends because they also have kids. I've got friends now who run their own businesses, and it's just so nice to be able to talk to people who understand what you mean. And also for me, I don't own a let me just unplug. I don't work for somebody else, and I work all by myself. It's really nice to be able to have colleagues.
Yeah, so it's like a community.
That's it.
Which is exactly what you're creating with So in Love.
That's it, absolutely. Very similar.
And so to help our community to get to know you a little bit better, can you tell us one fun fact about you?
Yeah, so I guess I have many hobbies because I really love being creative. So something that I guess I sort of forgot about for a while is that I've played piano since I was 4, I think. So I played all the way through to high school. So if anyone's done pretty hardcore music, I've done my AMUS, which is a diploma of classical music. Basically means you can be a concert pianist. But that's in classical. But I play flute and guitar and all sorts of other things too. But recently, from this year, I've started taking jazz piano lessons at the Con.
Awesome.
So it's just such an awesome creative outlet for me. So I guess if anyone wants to have a jazz jam session, please reach out.
That's so good. I didn't even know that, Rin. That, I think learning instruments so great. Being creative, and it's just nice to build up those skills in the different forms.
Yeah, and it's such a nice way to just switch off, because when you're playing, your brain is so focused on the music that it's sort of like a meditation for me. Sewing and being in my sewing room and making is a form of meditation, and that's something that a lot of my audience say to me as well. But because sewing is part of my work as well, I find that having that music outlet, and just with jazz, it's all improvisation. So just really being creative and spontaneous is a really great form of meditation and therapy for me.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. So Rin, for our viewers here and who would like to, get to know you and see your business online, where can they go and see your website?
The best place to have a look at my work is to just go to my blog. It's www.sewinlove, so SEWINLOVE.com.au. And I'm also on Instagram. It's sort of a new thing that I'm doing, to be on Instagram, and I'm at SewInLove.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing today, Rin. We really enjoyed getting to know you better, and we hope that everything goes well for you. We'll definitely catch up soon.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Guys.
Thanks so much, Rin. We'll see you in the next Lounge Chat.